Hello, you're listening to No Kids, No Pain. I'm Romina Puma.
And I'm Luca Cupani, and this podcast is about the choice of being child-free.
Each week we will explore the topic of choosing not to have kids.
And we would love to hear from you too.
If you decide to be child-free,
Don't feel guilty, this is the podcast for you.
and if you have kids,
Here's what you're missing out.
good morning, Luca.
Good morning, Romina.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Welcome back to No Kids, No Pain.
Yes.
So, first of all, I want to thank a listener who sent us an email
Yeah?
about the boarding school episode. And he was saying that basically we got it right. We got some
Yeah.
facts right.
Yes.
However, there is an however, he went to boarding school
Yes.
and he found some positives out of it.
Yeah, because so the listener is Italian and he was sent to boarding school in Italy,
I guess so.
and he agreed that it was a sort of a threat that
Yeah, I mean, Italian parents, I think especially. I'm not sure British parents have that too, but Italian parents do that a lot. They threaten us.
Yeah.
I'll send you to boarding
but
school.
in this case also they did it. There
Yeah.
wasn't just an empty threat.
Yeah.
And he said it was an awful experience, but he was trying to see the,
Prepared him for life.
or at least for the compulsory military service that
Yeah.
used to be a thing in Italy.
Italy.
Now they talk or bring it back, but
Did they?
sometimes they do. You know, the government when they don't know how to distract people from
Because now
the problem.
you do the civil service or something.
If you
like
want,
that.
but
I
you're
don't-
not,
you're
you
not-
don't have. So back
Okay.
on the day, for men, for boys, once you had the age of 18, you had to go to
Yeah.
1 year or 10 months of compulsory military training.
Yeah.
So he said, well, I was very sad at the boarding school, but then when I did the military,
It
compared
was
to that,
like a walk in the park.
yeah, I was much more prepared.
Yeah, but he also says that when parents can't, give you the right education and and behavior education and all that, strict
Yeah.
things like
Yes.
boarding school can give you, then school should step in.
Yeah, he said it might play a role, but again, and we kind of it could. I think it could be
Yeah.
right, but in our point of view, if you cannot be a good parent, maybe another
You
option.
shouldn't have kids.
Exactly, is not be a parent at all.
Yeah.
Much better. And now, since so far there isn't a military compulsory service, I truly believe that boarding school prepares you for compulsory military service, but we don't have that, so we don't need really
Yeah, we don't need that.
boarding school, at least
Yeah.
in Italy.
But thank you for your email.
Thanks.
But we're still on the opinion that if you can't cope with kids, you shouldn't have them.
Yeah, there's nothing.
in the first place.
Yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you think, you know what? No, if I had a kid, I would just send them to the boarding school.
Yeah.
This thought might make you think, okay,
Yeah.
let's be child free.
Unless you want to be like the Queen, not much the Queen, but her husband, that he sent. They all go to boarding school anyway. But
The late queen, we have a king
the late
now.
Queen,
don't-
Prince Philip sent the actual now King Charles to the same boarding school he went because he said that boarding school was very strict and really prepared him for life. But King Charles, now being a very, very shy and fragile person, he's very, he's like, he's not like a strong,
Oh no, yeah. Imagine.
like, kind of those men, like, I go and fight, and he's more delicate.
But it seems a little bit snappy sometimes.
When the pen leaks.
Yeah, so he can't cope. Maybe he can cope with the difficult role of a
but
king,
he
but
sent-
with a
he
pen
sent
that
him
doesn't
to
work.
that boarding school, and King Charles, he didn't like it. He didn't
Oh,
like- Well, he got on with it because he had to, but he didn't like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Here's what we are going to talk about today, actually. Is an article I found, which I found hilarious. Basically, this woman went ballistic and wrote a very long tweet. Now that you can write long tweets,
Yeah.
about being outraged that people without kids shouldn't go to Disney Park.
Yes, she was at Disney World. I don't know if it was the one in America or in Europe or where it was.
Or anyway.
She was really furious because, well, it's because there were couples with no kids queuing
For
ahead
a
of her.
pretzel.
And so, like, one was having a pretzel, a much cherished, let me see, how did he call it? A Mickey pretzel.
Yeah.
And their son wanted one, but the line was so long. She said line, so probably as Americans, so it would be queue in English.
Yeah.
And so the mom told the kid, like, well, let's have it later. And it broke his poor little heart.
Oh.
And
poor
the kid
thing.
cried because, you know, that's a tough kid when
You
he
can't
has
have a pretzel
the
because
Mickey
there are
pretzel.
people without kids in the queue.
Well, it could. She didn't say you will never have a Mickey pretzel. She just
said
told
later.
later. But you
Yeah.
know, this poor kid couldn't cope with the idea of waiting.
Are we talking about one of those moms that they spoil their kids so much that anything the kid says is
Has to be
yeah.
because probably they cannot cope with the kids throwing a tantrum. I believe
Yeah.
there's a point when you have to establish who's the stronger. So
Yeah.
either the parent who resisting, or
Yeah, and probably
and it
in
must
this
be
case it's the
difficult.
kid, yeah.
And so she had a wonderful moment of sincerity. She said that hated those immature millennials that throw away their money on useless crap. Now,
Uh,
so it's interesting because I mean I'm not much of the Disney person, but I
Neither
know
am I.
many
But
people
we
that
are
love.
yeah, we are in a free world. If you are into that, why am I not allowed just because I don't have?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm an eternal Peter Pan.
Exactly.
And, you know.
If you want to have a picture with Mickey Mouse, have it, and then
Yeah.
well, yeah, it doesn't matter. You may be in your 80 years old. That's fine.
Yeah.
Have it. So it's interesting. I believe there's a sort of a what makes me think she probably doesn't value. So for her, the whole experience must have been traumatic. Sort of, oh, I can't bear that. She doesn't like Disney, what she did as a sacrifice for the kids,
For the kid.
and she doesn't understand why people are treating themselves their own kids.
Yeah.
So she was very happy to spoil their kid, because in her mind, probably the adults have to make sacrifice and to
Yeah.
endure things they don't like
Some
for the sake
people
of the
go
kid.
even there on a honeymoon.
And they're like,
So, you
yeah,
know,
that's
if you-
perfect.
Yeah, if it were, I would never go there on a honeymoon. I mean, I remember, and I don't know what kind of attractions are there, to be honest, but I think like roller coaster, stuff like that.
Probably,
I
but there are also
guess.
probably, I don't know, castle, like you could feel like
Yeah.
Cinderella, or you can
Oh,
meet,
yeah.
I don't know,
Maybe
maybe.
you dress up and stuff
Yeah, and there
like
might be
that.
some stunt actions, the Disney movie, Disney, I
Yeah.
don't know, there might be everything.
I don't know. I never liked Disney since I was a kid. So.
Okay, but think about like Comic Con or Universal
that.
Studios. Okay, you can go and meet the X-Men or Spider-Man.
Not my thing either.
Okay.
But anyway, for me, I don't know. When I do my holiday has to be on the beach. That's my holiday.
Okay.
There's no other way around that. But that doesn't takes us away from, if you are into that kind of stuff, why shouldn't I go? Because I don't have kids. It's just ridiculous that she was so furious about that.
It's and the idea that so a good thing of being child free is that yeah, you can treat yourself like your own child. So do you want to spoil yourself?
Yeah.
If you have
Go for
time
it.
and money and chances, do it. What do you like? Your little self when you were a kid, you always dreamed to go to Disney or go to some big theme park, and maybe back then your family didn't have enough money
Yeah.
to send you them, so you were unhappy. Now you got enough money. Treat yourself. Go there. Stand in a line ahead of family with kids and have the last Mickey pretzel. Because you deserve. I mean, it's yours.
Yeah.
What's the? I don't
I
think.
don't understand. Yeah, and if you go without kids, it's so much better. I think
Yeah,
you can enjoy it more.
you can go to you go you use the toilet when you need to use the toilet, not when the kid
Yeah.
wants, and
Not tantrums involved.
yeah, just
Yeah.
your own tantrum.
Maybe
because-
you want to go to one attraction and the kid wants to go to another one. I was like, oh, I need to go to that one now because the kid wants to go there, but I don't like that one.
especially because if you are child free and you go there, we assume that you and eventually your partner are both happy to go there, or somehow you accept it, you're happy to do this. If you are with kids, chances are maybe you just doing this for kids, but you get bored, you don't
Yeah.
like it, and you wouldn't
And
be
it's
there.
not cheap. It's quite
Oh
expensive.
yes, yeah. There's not much of a discount. We were
No.
looking on the website. Maybe below 3 years old, it's,
It's
free,
free, but
but they
then
will
you-
not remember anything. So by
Yeah.
the time they are 8, they want to go back and enjoy.
Yeah, but then to certain ages, like a reduced price, and then
Yes,
it's-
until 11. But then when he's a teenage, 12, 13 years old, then
Yeah,
they have to
you
pay like an
full
adult.
on,
Yes. So it's more expensive if you go with your family.
yeah.
And
And then she was saying, this is for families. So that implies that, in her opinion, a couple is not a family.
yes.
It's still a family, FYI.
Exactly. When we were talking, I got just an email from my Italian bank that asked me to take part on a raffle to win a trip to Disney, but they say in London. So maybe there's also a theme park in London. We are so Disney,
There are some, yeah. Well, there is the,
the Frozen musical. There are a lot of musicals. I don't know.
I don't know. I went to a theme park when I moved here with my work colleagues. We went to Thorpe Park,
Okay.
and that is quite famous for roller coasters. And there are quite a few roller coasters. And we went like on 4 or 5 in a row, and at the 4th one, I gave up. I can't do this anymore.
So this lottery from my bank is about to celebrate the 100 years of Disney. You have a flight and a hotel, and then 4 tickets for Disney musical, and 4 tickets for the Marvel for the experience. But I wonder, these 4 tickets, could they be 2 couples of adult friends?
I don't know.
I need to see because
You know what that reminds me of? I've been watching Only Fools and Horses.
yeah.
Lovely jubbly. Innit? And there is an episode where Dell says to Rodney that they won a holiday to Spain.
Good.
And Rodney, I can't remember if at that time there was still boyfriend and girlfriend at that time. I don't think they were married at that point. Dell said, you can go on on a holiday with Cassandra, Cassandra. And so they're so happy to go on holiday. Yeah, but I have to go. It's a holiday for 3 people. And Rodney said, for 3 people, that's weird, because when you win a holiday, normally it's for a couple. No, this is for 3 people. It turns out that basically what Dell did, it was a competition on the cereal box that you had to send a drawing of your kid, a drawing that your kid did, to enter this competition. And he sent a drawing that Rodney did when he was like 10 and they won. So when they went there, he had to say, well, yeah, because there were lots of kids, and Rodney and Cassandra, they were like, what's going on here? Yeah, it's basically for families. So Dell had to pretend
To be a
that
kid.
that he was married to Cassandra, and Rodney was the kid. It was hilarious.
And because I want to check
So
out
that probably
terms and
is-
conditions, because it's 4 people. What if we go like with our partners, the 4 of us, 2 couples?
Yeah,
And-
I don't know, because probably they included some sort of reduced ticket, assuming that you go with kids.
But also,
You need to read the terms and conditions.
yeah, I couldn't find it, but I
That would
won't.
be hilarious.
Because also, and what if you have kids, but there are 3 of them? So it's not a family of 4, because people assume a family.
Well,
of-
you have to pay, or you leave it at home.
And if you have,
You bring only your favorite ones, and the one you don't like stays at home.
yeah, you probably you make a competition, Hunger Games, for your kids, and you say, okay, it's interesting because they assume the family is 4, so 2 kids and 2 parents,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Well, if you only have one, then lovely jubbly.
yeah,
If you have 3, well, you either pay for the third one
yes.
or you live at home.
I think so. But again, it's not. It's interesting. So, well, yeah, let's organize a trip to Disney World if you want, and behave like kids,
Yeah.
or no, and no.
Yeah. So
Treat
where
yourself well.
where do you stand? Do you agree with this woman that people without kids shouldn't go to theme park, or we are in a free world and we can do
Or
whatever
maybe
we
do shifts like only nighttime, adults only
Yeah.
nighttime, and I visit when it's
Maybe,
dark.
you know, and in the evening it's just for people without kids, and during the day with people with kids. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Could be an
uh,
option.
Should we separate? Should we keep together? Is it okay if you're on a queue for a pretzel and there's
Yeah.
someone who doesn't have a kid? And
You should give like you give a priority to disabled people. You know, the disabled people always keep queues.
yeah, like when there's a ice cream van,
Yeah.
kids first and then adults behind.
Yeah, I don't know. But like, you know, if you go anywhere, normally like disabled people, they jump the queue.
Yeah.
So here, if you have a kid, you go in the front. You have a priority. Maybe something like that.
Could be. We will see. We will see
We'll
what
see.
Disney.
Tell us what you
do.
think.
Yes.
At the usual ways. You can email us
Oh, yes.
at nokidsnopaying@gmail.com.
Or you can write in social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. No kids, no pain. One word. And see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.